And then, of course, you must get credit in English and mathematics as well. Then I would like to also highlight some major categories of careers that are related to science. The first one here is engineering and technology, under which we have agricultural engineering, automobile, ceramics, engineering technology, civil engineering, electrical engineering, petrochemical engineering, chemical, mechanical, computer engineering, mechatronics, food and science engineering, public health, biomedical engineering, and then building engineering as well. Before I move, I would like to also touch the scope of these various courses. When you study any of these courses I just mentioned, you can work in the academia, you can work in the university, college of education, polytechnics as a lecturer, where you also teach other students the same course you study. You can also go into private venture, where you can go and open your own private workshop and you will be getting money. And then you can also work with government as their engineer. You can work with companies. You can also work in oil and gas companies, where there is a lot of money there. You know, all this NNPC, all this Shell, Chevron, and all those. You can work with them as an engineer, and you get a lot of money there. Then the next one is environmental science, which encompasses all those courses that you know by name, even though you may not know the detail. It includes architecture, construction management, urban and regional planning, industrial design, quantity surveying, estate management. I'm sure most of you might have neighbors who are maybe quantity surveyors, you know, architects, and so on and so forth. And I'm sure if you know how they live their life. The scope also entails companies, government ministries, private ventures, and universities. You can work in all these parastatals and you make a lot of money. The third one is my own medical sciences. I'm sorry, I may be a little bit biased because I know much of it. Under medical sciences, we have medicine and surgery, we have dentistry, we have pharmacy, we have medical lab science, nursing science, human nutrition, radiography, physiotherapy, optometry, and veterinary medicine, of course, among others. The scope of this is, it entails hospitals. You can work in any hospital that you know, depending on the career you chose. You can also work with non-governmental organizations, that's NGOs. All these are World Health Organization, UNICEF, you understand. You can work with them and you make a lot of money. And I don't need to waste much time talking about how we work in the hospital. I'm sure most of you have been to the hospital either as a patient relative, or you visited a patient. So you can also work in academia too. You can choose to go into academics, where you also go and teach other medical students, and you get much money there, and you can combine the two. You work in the hospital, you go to the academics. Also, you teach, you earn two salaries if you wish, especially for those that might be working in teaching hospitals. And then private practice. You can also decide to open your own clinic, your own hospital. You can also maybe just register with someone who is having his own private hospital. You work together and then you get money there also. I'm going together with the scope of each so that at the end of the day we will not have to waste much time to come back. Then agric science is the next cadre. Agric science entails agricultural economics, crop science or crop production, animal science production, fishery, food science, and so on and so forth. It also is its own scope also entails government agencies, non-governmental organizations. You can also go into lecturing, private ventures where you can open your own private farms. You can also go into poultry keeping and so on. You get money there too. Then the last on the list, but not the least, general and specific sciences. That's where you study all these pure sciences: analytical chemistry, applied biology, physics, mathematics, biology, biochemistry, computer science, pharmacology, nuclear physics, statistics, zoology, botany, industrial chemistry, and so on. Under this scope also entails working in industries. You can work in industries, drug industries, food industries, and so on and so forth, and you get money there. You can go into academics also. You can also work with companies. Then, as I said earlier, the requirements from the O-level, either WAEC or NECO, then we should not forget about the almighty Joint Admission and Matriculation Board examination, JAM. For sciences, especially for those engineering and technology, the course combination that you need to know entails mathematics, physics, chemistry, and English, of course, because it has been for long that you'll be seeing a student that is aspiring to study engineering, but he will go and choose course combination for medicine. That person's fate is already changed by that wrong combination. So you have to get this, and at least the minimum you need to get to secure admission is between 180 to 200. That's the minimum. I'm not saying that you should aim at 180 to 200. You have to aim higher. However, there are some institutions that may give you admission when you get 180, but it's not reliable. So aim higher. There are some institutions that will not even consider you if you get anything less than 200. So you have to aim higher. Aim at, let's say, 300. Aim at 300. You can do it. You can do it. Because several people have gotten 300 and more. So you can also get it. They have a single head. They don't have more than a head. So you too can do it. It's just to strive. At this juncture, before I move further, I will also give you some tips that you may utilize appropriately to get to this your ambitions. For you to get higher score in JAM, you need to get all those JAM past questions and answers. You need to secure JAM brochure. Also, it will also guide you. Then when you get the past question and answers, make sure, for instance, now we are in 2021. Make sure for each course, let's say for mathematics, you answer a decade. Questions that are that can be dated back to a decade to date. For instance, you start from, let's say, 2010. That's 2010 or 2009, maybe. You keep answering, answer it, master it, and inshallah, I tell you that you pass the JAM and you get good score. Then for medical sciences, the course combination includes biology, chemistry, physics, and English. And the minimum requirement you need to get is between 200 and 250. 200 and 250. This 200 I'm talking about is when you are talking about the allied health sciences, nursing, physiotherapy, radiography, medical lab science. Some institution will consider you when you get 200 in your JAM. Some will not consider you until you get 220 and above. However, for medicine, it's well known that mostly the minimum requirement is 240 and above. However, because of the high competition, everyone wants to get admission, maybe to study MBBS or dental surgery, then they may decide to increase the cutoff. The cutoff mark may reach sometime to 260, 70, 80, depending on the institution. So that's it. And then for others, there are some that may also register, and then instead of substituting mathematics that is in engineering and technology courses, instead of substituting it with either biology or chemistry, you may substitute with geography. And of course, courses including zoology and botany will all accept those combinations. Then, without much ado, I will also talk about the post-UTME. Post-UTME is an examination that the universities usually organized for the students who have passed their JAM, and they are now qualified to sit for their post-UTME to get admission and study a particular course in the university. They will invite you. I will be giving reference to the institution I attended to because I'm more conversant with their own system. What they do, you come with your score. For instance, you want to study engineering and the cutoff for JAM is, let's say, 200. And then since you've gotten 200 in your JAM, you will be allowed to come and sit for the post-UTME. Now, after sitting for the post-UTME, whatever you score there will be summed up with the JAM, and then it will get divided into two. Then it will give an average. That is what is known as the aggregate score that you need to secure admission. And that aggregate is the one that they will use to determine whether they are admitting you or not. If they said we are admitting a particular student when he gets, let's say, 200, so it's not only the JAM they are talking about actually, but the JAM will qualify you to sit for the post-UTME. But after going for the post-UTME, you now get, let's say, 180 in their post-UTME. They will add it with the 200 that you initially got in the JAM. 200 plus 180 divided by 2. What will it be? You said 190. So if you get 190, you are not getting the admission because your aggregate is not up to the cutoff. So you need to also get minimum of 200 in that post-UTME for you to have the normal aggregate of 200 after division. Then you will be admitted. And you know, you have to prepare very well. If you buy your jam, you cannot buy post-UTME. You may decide to go to miracle centers, you pay higher amount, you pass the jam, but when you sit for the post-UTME, I tell you, you may not pass if you did not prepare very well. Then, what are the factors that affect choice of career? One is knowledge of the job. Yes, maybe from your small experience, your little experience, you might be knowing something about the particular job that you want to venture in. For instance, you want to study medicine. Of course, you have to develop interest. You have to have the zeal that you want to work in the hospital. You want to work round the clock. You want to serve humanity. You are not after only the money that you get. You don't want to be lazy, and so on and so forth. And then you go into it and you strive, and inshallah you get it. Self-knowledge. The self-knowledge I'm talking about here is to be fully aware of your own self. You have to know your capacity, what you can do and what you cannot do. However, there is nothing you cannot do. Yes, there is nothing you cannot do. What I am saying here, what you may feel that you can't do is when you did not try it, and when you did not have the background of doing it. And all you need to do is to strive. You have to just work hard. Yes, some of you are very good in mathematics. You understand? They are very good in physics, but they are very poor in biology, maybe in chemistry also. Maybe some can memorize easily, some they can't memorize, but anything calculation, they are very good at it. So, in your own opinion, what do you think is best for such a particular person? Is it not to go into a career that will favor him most, where he can use the skill that he has most, or he should go into another career where he doesn't have more interest, he doesn't have more capacity in it? So you have to also decide. If you are very good in calculation, I advise you go into engineering courses, or you go to mathematics. If you are very good in both, or you are very good in only biology, chemistry, and physics, you are not good in mathematics, I advise you go into medical sciences. Anyone. I did not say you must go into MBBS. However, MBBS at this juncture, I will advise my sisters to go into it. Yes, the reason I'm saying it, I know, and I will share it with you. You know, in all our hospitals now, when you go, the workforce mostly are men. You understand? You take your sister, your mother, you know, to the hospital, and then she is going to deliver. She couldn't deliver on her own. Who is going to help her? You understand? A health worker, a trained health worker. Then there are no women there. Of course, a man will have to assist. Will have to assist. No privacy, of course. You understand? And even Islamically. And let me tell you something. It is a popular statement Islamically that al-ilmu ilmani, al-ilmu tib wal sharia. There are only two types of knowledge that is well known even previously. The knowledge of medicine, and then the knowledge of sharia. You understand? All other knowledge, I'm not saying that they are not knowledge, but they are adjuncts. They beautify other knowledge. You understand? And By studying that, you will really help. You know, all this obstetric and gynecology, yes, it's for women. Women should go there, become reproductive health issues of their own colleagues. Nursing science is for you, and it's very easy. Let me tell you, science is simpler than art. It's very simple, very simple. It's simpler than art, let me tell you. Because ask my colleagues, those that studied law, you know, they will be cramming things like, you know, like they are memorizing Quran. You memorize, you go into exam hall and it skips, and you may fail. But in science, all you need is to understand. Just understand and you make it. Then the next one is parental and peer group constraints. You know, some will be influenced by their parents, some will be influenced by their friends. They will just feel, since my friend is studying this course, I must also study that, even if I don't have interest, even if I don't have capacity of doing it. No, just go into what you have interest, something that you feel that you can do, and you can do it, not just doing it, but you can do it very well. The last one is finance. You have to be ready, but let me tell you, there is one good information for you. Those that study medical sciences, mostly they get scholarships. I will give you example with my own self. I've gotten a scholarship in the university, where from the time I started to the time I graduated, I have gotten 1.35 million from it. I enjoy it, and I'm even telling you, even this Monday, we'll be going to Abuja to enjoy some of the, you know, benefit of one of the scholarships there. It's a 3-day program. So when you go, inshallah, you too will get it. Maybe